Newsmax host Emerald Robinson got in a bit of trouble late last week after she tweeted out that the COVID vaccines contain a chemical compound called luciferase that is somehow a bioluminescent tracking device linked to the devil himself. Now, she said this early last week in a tweet that has since been deleted by Twitter. But here, let me read word for word what the tweet said. Dear Christians, the vaccines contain a bioluminescent marker called luciferase so that you can be tracked. Read the last book of the New Testament to see how this ends. Basically, last book of the New Testament talks about nobody shall bear the mark of the beast, blah, 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 blah. And she thinks that because it has the name Lucifer in it, then somehow it's clearly linked to the devil, even though that's the Latin root for the word light. And it's bioluminescent, so it makes sense. We use a lot of Latin roots in science. I assume she didn't take too many science courses in her life. So anyway, following this, Twitter decided to suspend her account, according to reports, for about 7 days, so she should be getting it back tomorrow or Wednesday. If they decide to go longer, I'm okay with that as well. But more importantly, Newsmax, about a day and a half after she tweets this out, after everybody started paying attention, they come out with a statement and they say, hey, listen, we don't agree with this. The vaccines are safe. The vaccines are effective. We've maintained that on our network, yada, yada. Basically trying to distance themselves from this woman who isn't just a correspondent, by the way, for Newsmax. She was the White House correspondent. She's the one they send to D.C. over to the White House in the press pool. And she's tweeting out this anti-vaxxer conspiracy theory, somehow linking it to the devil himself. Not long after that, reports started coming out at the end of last week that Emerald Robinson has in fact been benched, is what they're calling it, by the network, and is not going to be on the air for a little bit. Not sure how long, maybe just a couple days. Heck, maybe by the time we're watching this, maybe she's already back on the air. Who knows? But she did get popped for it. Again, by Twitter and, of course, by the network that she works for. And technically, she got popped for it twice by Newsmax. Once with them having to issue their statement saying, yeah, we don't agree with this nut job. And then again, when they decided to not let her come on the air. But it is what it is. Emerald Robinson will be back on the air. Whether or not it's with Newsmax is a different situation. But hey, if you're too extreme for Newsmax, you can always go over to One America, where they really scrape the bottom of that conservative barrel to find people to put on the air. So I'm sure you would fit in beautifully with the folks over at One America, Emerald Robinson. But the truth is, there are far too many Emerald Robinsons out there. Far too many people spreading ridiculous misinformation about these vaccines. We have doled out, administered, a couple billion doses of the vaccine worldwide. A couple billion. And yet we haven't seen a couple billion people suddenly channeling the devil. We haven't seen a few billion people suddenly developing mysterious illnesses, or emitting 5G signals, or suddenly becoming magnetized. And yes, all of these things I'm saying right now are conspiracies that have been pushed by the anti-vaxxers. We're not seeing widespread damage. We're not seeing widespread side effects other than some people are experiencing cold-like symptoms for a day or two after their second dose. I did. By halfway through the day after I got my vaccine, I was back to perfectly normal. Been great ever since. So, it is what it is. Stop listening to the idiots out there spreading misinformation. We have enough real-world data out there to see that these things are safe and effective. And I hope that Newsmax continues to punish the people they put on the air when they say such incredibly stupid things to the public.